Hi, it's John at C Nation, and you are tuned into the Kush Journals. Join me and my occasional guests each weekday as we discuss all things cannabis in the great state of Utah. I got a late text Thursday evening in Anaheim from our good friend Shauna McGregor over at Grasslands in Denver. Great public relations company, great people top to bottom, asking me if I was interested in interviewing Amy Andrle. Well, of course I am. Amy is one of my heroes in this industry. She is involved at a level that is important and impressive, and I'm going to tell you, not the most financially lucrative track she could be on, so bully for her. She is all about sustainability, non-GMO, know where you got it from, organic, clean green, all of the above. Her dispensary in Denver, Legal Services, employs people at a decent wage. They provide benefits. They are totally sustainable in more ways than you can imagine. She sits on important boards. I just like Amy, and I was thrilled that Shauna reached out to me. Well, lo and behold, this was about a new product line that I admit I knew nothing about, but I think it was kept under wraps, called Leela, same as legal, capital L apostrophe, so capital L apostrophe E-E-L-A, Leela. And this is an exterior skin and care product line that she and her partner Lisa Richards have developed together. Now, Lisa is going to quickly become a hero of mine in this industry too, because she and Amy share the same values when it comes to organic, when it comes to clean green, when it comes to sustainably sourced products, when it comes to human rights issues in these products, the whole 9 yards. It was a super fun interview, but I'm going to tell you a little bit different. I shared the interview because of time constraints and other things going on with another podcasting company. They shoot video. Bevan, it was a great podcast, and I was happy to sit on it with you. I roughly kept my mouth shut till the end. I'm going to just let this interview roll the way that it unfolded because his questions were savvy, the information was great, and regardless of whether I was asking the questions or not, it's information that you need as consumers, as people shopping for products that fit your lifestyle. It was super fun. I did have a chance, like I mentioned, to ask some things and to reflect some things towards the interview, but neither here nor there. It was super great. We hope you enjoy it. Please forgive the press room noise. You know how these interviews on the road go. You deal with what you can deal with. Sometimes there's a lot of crowd noise. Sometimes there's lots of things. The audio is pretty good throughout. Without further stalling for time, here is Amy. Here is Lisa from Leela.
Our audience is more the regular people. Everybody I mingle with and I hang out with, mom and dads, everybody else. The average age is 35 and up because as you grow older, your body starts breaking down. So everybody that our supporters and we mingle with are more older. They have a lot of ailments, rheumatoid arthritis, Hashimoto's, fibromyalgia, and nobody really focuses on them. But if you go into the center, they try and sell to the younger crowd and get the crowd that's more into THC come over. So our focus is more on regular people.
So you're speaking to our demographic. Yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't normally do this to us, but I'm going to out our ages. So I'm 45 years old.
You lie.
I swear it.
I'm 44.
You lie.
So
I'm going to be 40 next week on the 1st.
Okay, so right
you're going to love your 40s.
It's so much better.
So much wisdom. It happens
You just don't
instantly.
give a shit anymore.
Yeah.
Wait till 53 and falls apart.
So we hear what the group that you're interacting with. And that's something that, in our backgrounds, whether it's through your yoga practices and teachings, and then through the cannabis shop, I get that a lot. People who are either revisiting cannabis or looking for it as a sort of to help them with ailments, a variety of ailments. And I think that that's how we're approaching Leela and what we have created, but we add a beauty component to it as well.
What's the biggest challenge you found to launching your brand?
I think for us it is going to be reaching that demographic. I always find it challenging because, I think that the folks that are already using THC are more open to trying new things and trying new products. And I think it's getting the foot in the door with people who are considering it, have heard about it, aren't sure about it. We put together Leela as it's a CBD infused body care line, so it's not just about taking the capsules and taking the tinctures and putting it inside, but it's also how can CBD help you from the outside? And so reaching both demographics and getting into beauty, whereas this is really going to look medicinal as well.
There's a lot of education as well, because there's still a good portion of the population that when they hear cannabis, they instantly associate that with the high. And so one of the questions we get asked a lot is, if I put this on my body, am I going to be stoned? Which
it's common, very common. Yeah.
It's very common, and it's sort of funny coming from the industry because we know that CBD is what they say is non-psychoactive, but that's what a lot of people associate it with, and so reaching those demographics with a component of education has been probably what we're looking at the most, is if you ask of challenges.
I was thinking because our business partner, Melissa, she's our editor, her biggest complaint is acne. And she's...
Will you take her some of
Yes,
I will.
and this.
Hi, Melissa. And
Hi, Melissa. Try our products.
she's a little self-conscious because I'm the same way too, and nothing really works for her as far as the acne. I mean, she's more into the Ayurvedic, she's teaching me, and helping me. So it's putting everything together, you don't want to take CBD and then not forget about the rest of yourself.
Right.
You got to work out, you got to eat right,
Yeah.
you got to stick in your body, and that's the main thing we try to educate people on. It's full body, it's advancing yourself to be better, and not just sit down and take a product, because then you're becoming like taking regular pills, and not doing anything to help yourself.
It's not there are no magic pills in anything. And their motto, balance beauty inside and out. I think you have to have a balanced and healthy lifestyle. Something that Lisa can speak to. I love the way you say, I'm allergic to everything, because it's part of what went into our formulation, is to consider that, and I'm sorry to back it up just the reason why it's in, we know that this helps if you're taking pills. We know that this helps if you have a tincture. Pain rubs, very popular right now. However, what is our skin going to do if we start using CBD on it? And then, given that, that's when Lisa was like, well, then how can we formulate all of the other ingredients to be as thoughtful and helpful to support what CBD can do by its own health?
Yeah. So, and I'm allergic to everything. I had I call it my immune system meltdown in my mid to late 30s after my second child, and would wake up in the morning with my eyes swollen shut and couldn't figure out what was going on. And it got so bad, I ended up in the emergency room with swollen eyes, a swollen tongue, and pumping steroids into me. It was wild. I'm going to fast forward a little bit. We determined some of the things that I was allergic to that just came up in my mid to late 30s, that are compounds and chemicals that are found in everything in our daily life. And so I had to take a step back, remove everything from our house, basically, and then start over. And so as clean as possible is one of our mottos, and as close to the earth as possible. So in our products we have no parabens, no sulfites, no sulfates, which are all compounds, unfortunately, that have been found in cancerous tissues, breast cancer tissue in particular. No preservatives unless they come from vitamin E, which is an all-natural preservative, or a preservative that comes from a radish, lucidal. And because of that, everything that we have picked has a purpose. We don't have anything in our products that are in there because they're in other products. Everything has a purpose, and we can tell you why we picked marula oil, which is one of our main components of our products. It's a small molecule, has 60% more antioxidants than argan oil, and will attach to all the other things that we have, including the CBD, and make it absorb into your body, into your skin faster. Yeah.
What made you decide to go that route than the regular topicals?
Well, for one, the amount of antioxidants that are found in the cannabis plant, as well as amino acids. Some scientists refer to the cannabis plant as a whole protein, or a whole. Is it the perfect protein? There's a word for that in culinary uses as well, and I'm drawing a blank on it right now. If it's so good for you inside, why wouldn't it be good for you on the outside? And so that's kind of where we started. We really dove in, and every day I feel like we're amazed at the research that's coming out, at how beneficial this plant is. With the amount of the antioxidants, the vitamins, those are all the cancer fighters, right? The amino acids that help keep everything moving, your joints plump and luscious, if I can say that about your joints, because that's what we need to keep our joints from causing pain, and as we get older, yeah, exactly. So it just made sense, and then trying it and experimenting with it, it works.
Right, and we started Lisa makes all of the formulations initially and was mixing this up, and it was a trial and error.
Yeah,
and
totally.
The best possible combination and mix that both felt good on your skin, that you felt was effective. Sharing it with as many people as we could, getting their feedback and gathering from them. And now launching the product and hoping that, we feel like there's a lot of traction in the beauty market that hasn't been addressed. We look at health and wellness, but what else can this do? When you talk about whether it's rosacea, psoriasis, eczema, acne, there are a lot of ailments that are, what do they say? That epidermis is one of the largest organs.
It is our largest,
and it's also the absorption rate is incredible with a small molecule like CBD. So what happens if we're getting it both internally, inside and out, and then on the outside?
One of the main causes for disease is inflammation. We know that. It's the root of root of everything. Can we say that?
Yeah, your body's fighting itself.
Yeah, it's your body's fighting itself. One of the main properties that we've discovered, and I say we as the generalized we in this tiny business that everybody's in now, it's quickly becoming larger, but inflammation. Cannabis is, and all of the other products that we have put in here to go along with the cannabis are anti-inflammatory. And so if it works on the inside, why wouldn't it work on the outside? You mentioned rosacea and eczema and acne. Those are all caused from imbalances and inflammation. So, yeah.
I have a question. So how many products are you launching with?
5. So we've got the face serum, hydrating oil, pain remedy rub, tinctures, and capsules. 5. We will add in body lotion, eye cream, face cream, and then possibly gummies, because I think there are a good majority of people that just don't do well taking capsules, and gummies is another fantastic
It's hard for them to
alternative to that.
swallow.
But making sure that our capsules are vegan. Again, it's what are the other ingredients? Well, the capsules are vegan. What else is in the capsules? What else is in the pain rub? And looking at those formulations and breaking them down into the best possible delivery methods.
And this is where Amy's so good to be working with because of her background in cannabis, and her Clean Cannabis initiative has been, it's just like a really lovely partnership because of where her background comes from and the knowledge that she has on where does your stuff come
we
from.
have, and we have some bullet points on the card in front of you, but, sustainable and organic, that's something that matters in our lives, in everything that we buy, right? So how can we apply that to Leela?
We're both moms. Yeah.
Transparency, responsible sourcing, purity of our ingredients. That matters in anything else we purchase as well. And then making sure that it's good for you. That really boils down to where we're sourcing our CBD from. Right now, it's coming from a farm in Colorado, and we also have a farm in Kentucky that's supplying it, but knowing where it comes from and not just that it's, Eastern Europe or China. We really want to make sure, and the closer we can get to certifications of all of our products, all of the products that we've sourced, whether it be the marula oil, that's a perfect example, has an organic certification. So where we can find third-party certifications, we make sure we get that, and where we can't, we look at the sourcing.
So, do you have the option to just go and visit the farms?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's important.
And so, do you use full spectrum or isolate base?
That's a great question, especially coming out of the session we were just in. Interestingly enough, in one of our formulations, we're using both because of this. There's two belief systems right now. Full spectrum is really great. Isolate is really great. How about a little of both? And can that cover the bases? But I think right now, for majority of our plants, we're using the whole plant. We do, coming from my background in cannabis, I think that there is something to the entourage effect. I think that there are other molecules besides CBD that are part of this process and part of this healing that goes on in the human body. So that's where we're leaning on. But it's the schism that's happening within the CBD industry and the two trains of thought. And I think, we conquer that by trying to wrangle as much as we can until there's further research. That way we can make an empowered decision.
The other question I have is, your lab reports, are you going to post them on your website? How important is that for your company?
We really want transparency. I think that's super important. I know that it helped us in other businesses and just letting people see the results for themselves. And we also double. So we're not going to just take one. We're going to take two, and they'll both weigh in terms of the test results. We want to make sure that we can authenticate them or at least verify them within a plus or minus, because you know how the lab situation is right now. But absolutely, COAs are very important to us. We're formulating most everything that we have, and what we're not formulating at this point. We're really taking a close look at who's making it. Because that it's a bunch of...
I know. It's
giggling. Chuckling, I should say.
The other question I really have is the brown bottles. Why are you using brown bottles?
That's a great question.
Okay, so we have tried other bottles, brown bottles, and maybe you already know this. You know the answer to this.
It's a trick question.
It's a trick question, and I'm going with it. But the darker colored glass helps preserve the product, and we could have it in a really fancy clear bottle. However, if sunlight hits it, it's going to break down the chemical composition. And so, as safe as we can be, happy with what we've produced in the brown glass. And also, we want to go glass because we want this to be recyclable. We're not using plastics. Neither of us really trust plastic. I know there's like safe plastic out there, so they say. We're going glass because of those two reaches. And if I can just say from an aesthetic point of view, it looks nice. And it's classic apothecary bottles, thick apothecary glass. Yeah. So there's some aesthetics in there.
Another question popped into my head then. How many mLs in your bottles? And how many total milligrams of CBD in the bottle?
So in our 2-ounce hydrating oil, which is kind of like the all-over body, this is the little sample of it, the mLs are 60 mLs. And 100 plus milligrams of CBD.
We use the plus sign on many of our ingredients, so there'll be 100 plus or there'll be 200 plus, because we aim for over, but we never want people to feel like they're not getting their value. So we know with certainty it has at least 100.
At least 100.
Tinctures, right?
No. This is the hydrating oil.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what about your tinctures?
The tinctures we have are 500 milligrams. Mm-hmm. Yes, and it's calibrated on the dropper, so you know how much you'd be taking. Also in a brown apothecary bottle to keep them safe.
What size is the bottle?
The size is it's 2 ounces, so 60 mLs. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Why did you go with 2 ounces instead of 1?
That's a really good question. I'm not sure.
Value. Well, the face serum is going to come in the one.
Yeah, we have a 1 and a 2 ounce.
To come in the 1 ounce, and then the 2 ounce will be the hydrating oil.
Are you asking about our tinctures though? The tinctures. The tinctures we have the option of 1 and 2 ounce. The hydrating oil comes in 2 ounces because that's a bigger, like more all over body, less concentrated than the face serum, which is in 1 ounce, which is really concentrated, and you just need a little tiny bit.
I ran the show for really.
What do you use CBD for?
Yeah.
So for me, it's. I started taking CBD. I was in the military for 8 years. I got hurt, and it took them years to figure out what was wrong with me. They could tell me it was tendinitis, and all they did was give me Motrin when I was in the military. After I got out, I had a lot of pop in my wrist. I was in Boston for like internship, and I had to leave because I ended up having to have surgery. And they found out my ligaments had torn, and because they took so long to diagnose me, it was really bad. So I had arthroscopic surgery. It didn't help. So they
Just gave you scar tissue. Yeah.
So I had another surgery, and they cleaned up the tissue. I can't bear my hand, so it's bad compared to my other hand.
Yeah.
And I had 3 surgeries, so like now I have osteoarthritis because I have no cartilage in my wrist because it's all the ligaments and tendons kind of separated. And that's something I'm going to talk to you about, John. But I just needed something for pain, and my friend recommended CBD. Went to a head shop, got some wax, I vaped it, I got really, really high, and I realized, okay, this isn't right, so I came online searching.
Yeah.
And 2 years ago, there was nothing online, so I decided to just do it. And here I am, helping people who's in my shoes. They know any better because if you go out and you look, there's a lot of snake oil. There's a lot of people
there really is.
Just trying to sell you a product, One of the biggest things I've seen, especially in communities, people taking regular caffeine products and adding CBD to it and just selling to you, or a melatonin product, or a chamomile product and adding CBD to it, and then just jack the price up. If I wanted chamomile, I could just get a tea. So I mean, there's nothing wrong with adding it because a lot of products like turmeric, curcumin is really good for you.
Right.
But when the main focus is the other product and not the CBD, then it's why you're here in this market. So, Thank you so much for the interview.
Thank you. I'm going to send you on your way with the
Where can people go? Are you on Instagram?
And the Vital
We are.
Hydrogen.
What's your Instagram?
Leela Body Care.
Lila Body Care?
Yeah. Leela CBD Body Care.
And when are you launching your product?
October. So when we get back, we're going to any final changes, any tightening up we need to do, we do that, and then we'll be available online and in select retailers.
We literally have our products being formulated as we speak right now. We have, like, in the big lab, there's the lab coats, there's all of that going on, right? They're doing it, like, as we speak, so it's pretty exciting. October.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Let's do an intro.
Okay.
So we can do the intro. The intro was nice to go last.
Thanks for writing on those, Amy.
Yeah, I think we should write on the rest of it.
Yeah, we'll have to go up to my room and do
That's
that.
all right. Just write it a bajillion times.
Yeah.
These are yours. These are yours.
I'm going to ask you a question for
Yes,
my
sir.
podcast. It might make you repeat some things.
That's
but
all right.
Neither here nor there. We spoke in May,
We did.
and I learned a lot about some things I didn't know about.
Okay.
And I'm not going to say you changed my life, Amy, but one aspect of it you did.
Good. I hope it's how you select your cannabis products.
And maybe more than that. You know what
Okay.
you said, which was basically people need to shop for their cannabis the same way they shop for their food,
Yes.
those types of
Yeah,
things.
absolutely.
That we need to look for things that don't have the junk in them and don't, you know, all of that stuff. And no one had ever really presented that to me in those terms, though we kind of knew a little bit. You know, I do try and shop organic, non-GMO. We try and buy things without labels, fresh food, these types of
Absolutely.
things. Talk about that, I guess, in terms of this product,
Sure.
because it's critically important to our
Absolutely,
industry.
it relates. Yeah. So thank you, and I'm glad that mattered.
I think about
use
it
that
every day,
I use
yeah.
that analogy
That's so
a
cool.
lot.
I love hearing
And
that.
for the purposes of your recording, I would say, like, you know, as consumers, we know how to buy grass-fed beef now, and hormone-free milk, and cage-free eggs, and no nitrates in our deli meat, and no PPH in our bottles. And I could go on and on about fair trade practices, sustainability, you know, and cannabis consumers aren't taught how to shop for cannabis. They're shopping for cannabis based on the marketing that's given to them to say, like, this is the best product, this is so heady, this is so great, or this pen is so convenient, this is so delicious. But what about the actual products itself? And so when you break it down, it's like, and I was talking about this in the last panel, where is the source material coming from? What are the other ingredients besides cannabis, whether it's a THC cannabis or CBD? And how are they sourced? Where are they coming from? Where is this packaging? Who's doing it? Who's growing it? And cannabis consumers are just catching up right now to that. And I think it absolutely applies to CBD. Because from a medical standpoint, you have a lot more people using CBD because they're looking to heal something, right? And then the way that we have it with beauty, you know, again, you're putting it on your face, right? And as women, we know absolutely how important these products are, and you know, and how they make us feel about ourselves, both inside and outside. So applying the same principles to Leela, and it's, where is the CBD sourced from? Do we feel good about that farm? Does it have an organic certification? Because some of them can with the USDA. And if it doesn't, how are they substantiating their grow practices, the pesticide use, nutrients, etc.? What happens after it's harvested? How is it tested? And then our other
How's it
ingredients.
extracted?
Yeah, how is it extracted? Absolutely. And then what are the other ingredients we're going to add to it for our Leela CBD infused beauty body care product? So then, okay, you've got marula oil, and we have squalene, and that's okay. That comes from olives. And where's the marula oil sourced from? Well, it actually is sourced from Africa, for the most part, but it is sustainably sourced. It's
By a women's co-op.
By women's co-op, we love that. And it's the fruit of a tree, which means the tree isn't harvested, but that every year there's a new crop. Okay, this is a great, additional ingredients. And then what does it do to our bodies? Well, then it's got a small molecule. But we're asking those same questions of everything that's going into Lila products because we want to feel just as confident as I do with my legal products, right? That's the name of the cannabis business I work with. So, but it's about teaching people how to ask what they're buying. I mean, I haven't walked through the expo hall yet. And as a consumer, I like to go through and ask those same questions. And, you walk into any number of dispensaries in multiple states and ask them if it's organic, and the person behind the counter will almost always go, it is. It's a plant.
Well, Amy, that's an interesting thing. I spent the whole summer traveling to conferences and conventions in legal cities where I could go purchase. And I did ask those questions.
What did they tell you? Any number of answers.
Every answer came. And I found myself, now I'm a cannabis consumer. I like to partake when I'm in these cities that I can do it in. And I found myself walking out of stores almost disgusted, even if I feigned it a little bit, almost disgusted at what they'll say to move product. And I find that it's so, I don't know, so the way the world works.
You would value the company that says,
I would.
You know what? Unless we had to say this line, we don't have an organic certification because blank, whether it's the federal government won't recognize cannabis or whether it's we are in a hemp farm. And however, these are our growing practices, and this is what we do. The amount of transparency they offer up and how accountable they are to those grow methods are how you can at least, as a consumer, double check. But when they're making up stories like, well, yeah, it is, 100% organic all the way through, and we have to empower the consumer.
Can clean green apply to hemp farms, or is there more to that?
I think is a certification that's specific to cannabis with the THC. Right? There are other certifications out there, whether it's I'm not sure if Be Kind works with CBD or not in hemp. The federal government will certify hemp farms, so they have that to lean on. But granted, all of these certifications, and this dives into a deeper discussion, that even if the USDA is certifying organic for what? Eating, smoking, topical? This is a plant that we do much more than in terms of an agricultural crop. So, it's about knowing your source, knowing where it's coming from, and do you trust that farm or that establishment or that testing?
So I can buy Lila at legal? Is that yes, no?
Funny, you can't.
You cannot.
You cannot.
I cannot, okay.
You cannot. Why? Because they have these crazy rules in Colorado that if you are a cannabis system, within the regulated system, right? So we hold a marijuana license. We can't sell products that don't have THC in them.
So strange.
Go figure. So
it's crazy maneuvering all the laws.
So what we can do is you can find them through legal very easily.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
We do that, and we will be available online and in select stores.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I don't
Thank
think
you
I
for
have
your
anything
interest.
else. Oh, of course.
Well, I have a question there.
You're like, how do you use these products?
You went back to sourcing in Africa, right?
Yeah.
South Africa.
Do you use shea butter in any of your products?
No. No.
Will you plan on it? Or
Shea butter, no, there's not a reason why. We just haven't found a product. And, we're working on formulating a body lotion, and that's definitely an option. I've used shea butter. I don't know enough about shea butter to decide if that's something that we'll put in there. Especially coming from Colorado, I know the benefits of shea butter and the consistency, the viscosity of it, and what it does. I have definitely used it. But for right now, we're using the marula oil along with a lot of other very high quality ingredients. But what we have right now, we don't have any shea butter.
Okay.
Yeah. Why do you ask about shea butter?
Every day.
Do you? Yeah, it's good.
Get my hair.
Yeah. Try the oil. Try the oil.
Hydrating
Yeah.
oil. You can put it in your. We say it's for hair, body,
Face.
all over
It's
face.
it's our multitasker.
You can just dab it on your fingertips and put it on your face. You as well, John.
Yeah, it's great for beard oil.
It is. And then rough hands, rough feet, body oil, elbows.
Yeah.
But I use that a couple drops on the face. And then with the pain salve, that's just like any other, a pain remedy rub goes on great. Muscles, aches, pains, your wrist.
Yeah, try it on your wrist and let us know.
Okay. I will do that.
Okay.
So on the intro, and then you want me to do an interview with you afterwards? Like, how do you want to do this? Do you have time?
We probably have like 5 minutes, and then we have to go get ready for our demo.
I'm just going to thank them.
Okay.
And then I'll do whatever it is I need to do. Now, this has actually worked really well for me. It's great because I tend to talk a lot. So this has been super helpful. But Lisa Richards, Amy Andrle, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
I'm always fascinated with what you were involved in and now what you're involved in.
Well, thank you very much. And that was a really nice compliment you shared. So I'm glad that we left you with some food for thought. Excellent.
You can obviously see why I really love interviewing Amy, and now Amy and Lisa. Their product is fantastic. I'm going to tell both of you, Amy and Lisa, my wife has since tried your products. The oil she thinks is fantastic, and you've got a customer for life for that product, guaranteed. Two impressive women, great set of products. I was so happy to do this interview. Shauna from Grasslands, M-Trig, thank you very much for helping get this set up for me on very short notice. They always take care of me on very short notice because I'm always flying in at the seat of my pants at the last minute because I drive to these things, so it takes me forever to get there. But thank you for accommodating me. Thank you for putting me in front of your important clients. We hope everyone enjoyed the interview. Lucas Journals is a copyrighted broadcast of the South American Gold Corporation. We appreciate your likes and shares on social media, including Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.